first thing we want to work on is a little bit of low back extension. So again, trying to get out of that low back rounded position into a nice extension. So what I have here is a peanut, 2 tennis balls taped together. I'm going to place that just under my low back. Use a towel roll as well. And just to start off, just nice and relaxed, and just basically just try to take nice deep breaths from the stomach. So for this you can spend about, I'd say, anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. And even a little bit of gently rocking back and forth side to side to bias extension a little bit on more side and then the other. We'll do is a little bit more active. So again, we're working on extension in the low back, one side and then the other. So what you do is you get it onto your stomach, and then you're going to take one leg out to the side. And then just kind of just gently pushing up from that position. So you want to think about kind of almost curling up off the floor. Instead of just coming off in one piece, you want to just kind of almost roll off the floor into extension. Repeat this for about 15 to 20 reps, and then move to the next side. So the next thing we want to focus on is trying to open up the hips. So you can either do this on the floor. If you have trouble doing it on the floor, I recommend sitting on a slightly elevated surface. So what we're going to want to do is sitting in a 90-90 position, essentially, one leg back, one leg out in front. And all you're going to do is stay nice and tall. You're just going to lean into it until you feel a stretch on the outside corner of that hip. Once you feel that stretch, hold there for about 5 seconds, slowly coming out of it. So it's a little bit more of an active stretch as opposed to passive. So I would hold that for 5 seconds, come in and out of that, I'd say about 10 to 15 times on each side. The next thing we'll work on is a little bit of internal rotation of the hips. So kind of legs turning out. So we'll do here, again, at 90, knees bent at 90 degrees, hips at 90. With a foam roll or a pillow between the knees, all you're going to do is just walk the feet out to the side slowly. Once you feel a little bit of tension or pinching in the hips, you're just going to hang out there and breathe, breathing through the stomach again for about 3 to 5 deep breaths. And then again, just trying to walk it out a little bit further. And again, 3 to 5 deep breaths. And again, walking it out further. And once you've done this drill, you should have at least a temporary increase in rotation in each hip. As those two are a little bit more passive drills, we're going to get into something a little bit more active. So with the band or strap, with tension on the strap, you're just basically going to pull the leg out and back in. So you're just letting the leg slowly come out and back in. And then switching the same thing to the other side. So now we're pulling into external rotation of the hip and resisting internally. I will do about 20 repetitions in each direction on each hip for a total of 80 reps. Once you've done some mobility work, now we want to transition to reinforcing some of that mobility. So if you just stretch it and you don't use it, you're going to lose it. So what we want to do here is just some simple strength drills for the hips. So the first one is just an alternating grip. So again, we want to keep a nice neutral spine, just a little space under the floor if you can. You're just arching up just slightly. And now what we want to do is we want to increase a little bit of tension in the core and focus all that motion through the hips. So you're coming up, and then you're just slowly alternating one leg to the other, making sure the pelvis stays level. So I would do about 3 sets of anywhere from 10 to 15. The next one we'll move into is the side plank. So what you're going to do here is, again, think about keeping that spine nice and straight, and again, moving through the hips. So we're going to come up, push forward, torso nice and straight, knees at a 90-degree bend. We're just going to lift that top leg. So maintaining both shins are parallel to each other. You can have the arm up as well. And you're just going to hold this. So I would say three sets of anywhere from 10 to 20 seconds on each side. So now we're going to work on a little bit of hip extension and hip flexion. So we're going to work on extension on this right hip, flexion and external rotation on that left hip. So what we're going to do is start by pushing forward, squeezing the glute, push that hip forward, hold it for 5 seconds, then you're going to lean forward until you feel a pull in the hamstring or in the posterior chain up on the glute. And again, coming in, and then you can use yourself for a little bit of support. Coming down, again, trying to keep that back as flat as you can. In, holding for about 5 seconds, and then again, coming down, holding for about 5 seconds. So cycle back and forth, I would say anywhere, again, 10 to 15 reps on each side. Now we're going to do 2 simple drills to work on the hamstrings and the quads to loosen them up. So again, we're going to get into that position of that lunge. And what you're going to do is, again, just leaning forward slightly. And what you want to do, again, staying nice and tall. You're going to contract that hamstring until you feel a stretch on the quad. Once you feel that stretch, again, hold in there for about 5 to 10 seconds, slowly coming out. Again, 5 to 10 seconds, slowly coming out. I would do that about 10 times on each side. And then we're going to look at the hamstring. So again, you want to stay nice and tall, and all you're going to simply do is straighten the knee as much as you can, feeling a pull through the hamstring. You can even kind of flex the foot back and forth, and then coming back down. Again, flexing the hamstring back and forth, staying the back nice and tall. Don't let the back come down. Again, forcing that nice, tall position. And you're just kind of coming in and out. Again, hold them for about 5 seconds, and then back down. Again, 10 to 15 reps on each side. The next one we're going to work on is a little bit of just more dynamic motion. So what you want to do here is try and get a tennis ball in the low back. If you can't get a tennis ball in there, try a foam roll or something along the lines of that. But basically, you want to force all the motion to go through the hips and not the low back. So basically, what it should look like, just rocking. If you want to come a little bit more forward, you're just rocking back, sitting back on those hips. It more or less should look like a squat in a different position. Again, keeping a little bit of tension through that core to make sure the back doesn't round out as you're coming down. So I would just kind of gently rock back and forth for about a minute. You can also play around with the foot position. So obviously, if you get your feet a little bit wider, it should feel a little more difficult to sit back with the feet wider out. So again, about 1 to 2 minutes. Next, we're going to work on some more hip stability. So for hip stability, what you want to do here is 3 phases. Foot tucked under in the back, and what you're going to start with is just the foot up here. It might seem simple, but as it gets more challenging, you can always regress to the earlier methods. So again, as you get more comfortable, you're slowly moving that front foot in until you get to a point where that front foot is right in front of the back leg. So you should feel a little less stable in this position. What you want to think about, again, is just staying nice and tall and just working on stabilizing through that hip. As you get better, you get to a point where you can kind of start raising that front leg and really challenge yourself. But for now, I think just starting with that foot in front of the other leg should be good. So with that forward rounded position, the shoulders, oftentimes what happens is the pecs tend to get tight. So we're going to go over two things to kind of help take that tension off the pecs. And the first one here, just kind of lying on the foam roller, making sure your entire spine is supported. And all you're going to do is you're going to pull the shoulders back, and you're just going to slowly try and drag the back of your hands as high as you can. So again, keeping the shoulders back. You'll get to a point overhead where your arms will start to lift off, and then you're coming back down. So again, we're going to do that for about, let's say 10 to 15 reps, just to open that chest up a little bit, or you're looking at 45 seconds to a minute total time. Kind of think about those forward rounded shoulders. So if you're lying on your back and your shoulders are coming off, that's probably, that's probably your pecs kind of pulling your shoulders in. So you want to do here simply, just pushing the shoulders into the ground. You do it with your elbows as well, at a 45-degree angle. And you're just going to push your shoulders and your elbows into the ground. Hold it for about 5 seconds, and then relax. And again, 5 seconds, and then relax. In terms of mobility for the upper back, again, you want to open up that upper back to take off stress off that low back. So again, we're using our peanut or a thick towel roll. So the target area is going to be from about that mid back up to about the top of the shoulder blades. Again, trying to relax. So the key here is you want everything below the ball to be as close to the floor as possible. This will force all the motion to come up through those upper areas. Again, just reaching with the arms over just to add some leverage and coming back. So again, keeping this area flat to the floor, reaching up and back. Try a little bit higher up as well. So again, same thing, reaching up. So sometimes it may feel like it's too far to even get your head back. In that case, don't be afraid to use a little bit of a leverage. So just enough that you can feel comfortable, but you still feel that pressure build up as you reach back. So I would try about 3 different areas in that upper back, and doing it for about 30 to 40 seconds in each spot for a total of a minute and a half. So again, next thing we want to do is we want to work on some rotation in that upper back. So what we're going to do here is, again, a little bit of elevation just to have the head in a more neutral position. And you're going to bring the knees up a little bit. This will help lock out the low back. So what you're going to do here is, you can either roll across like this, up and over, or you can just simply pull back. Picture pulling a bow and arrow. You're trying to get not only the elbow to the floor, but also getting that shoulder all the way around. Keeping the knees together and on the ground. So you should feel this through the upper back. If you're feeling it through the low back, try bringing the knees up a little bit. Good. So again, I would do about 20 to 30 reps on each side. So we're going to do 2 quick drills for the upper back as well here. So the first one, you're simply just going to rotate and dip the shoulder. So what you should feel each time is you might be getting a little bit further. So again, dipping the shoulder and rotating more. Again, same thing, dipping, rotating more and dipping. I would say 30 seconds on each side. And then what you want to do for the next one is you're going to reach forward with the opposite hand to the front knee and reach back with the back hand. So you want to think about reaching forward and back simultaneously to Really try and get that rotation through the upper back.